this live martial arts class, you'll discover self-defense against a violent attack using a cane. So you're gonna use your walking cane as a self-defense tool. We're gonna warm up here, put it in your hand with the long side coming out of the thumb. You make this cranking motion, and that's gonna twirl it to start. The purpose of this twirl is not to hit somebody or knock somebody back. It's just to warm your body up, get a good feel for how the cane moves through space and time, get your heart rate up just a little bit. Make sure your feet are below your body. You can also do this sitting in a chair. I'm going to show you that today too. Turn your hand over and back. Coming over and back is going to engage more of your core muscles. Make sure you're pulling your stomach up and in. Keep your abs tight. Street fight self-defense or self-defense against a violent attack using a cane starts with situational awareness. Situational awareness is always the starting point of all self-defense. And this is different than martial arts. Martial arts is a collection of techniques. Self-defense is a strategy or a collection of principles, of ideas. And the first idea is pay attention to what's happening around you. And then you're going to use techniques, strikes, in this case, hard, fast, wicked, powerful strikes using your walking cane. But it starts with that basic idea of paying attention to what's happening as it's happening around you. So situational awareness is number one. Pay attention. Back and forth. You've warmed up one side, put it in the other hand. And same thing. You're just cranking forward, allowing it to slide through the hand. And sometimes this part might be a little bit more narrow, but I have really wide hands. Most people, when they use the more narrow canes, typically don't have any trouble with it. Turn it over and back. I get stuck just a little bit, but I do it anyway. I think it's good to learn how to adapt to any type of weapon. And anything can be used as a weapon, especially when we're talking about a violent street attack or a violent attack and how you defend yourself. Spinning. Now you're warmed up on both sides. I want you to go into practicing the first technique with this cane, which is the strike. Starting from your shoulder, coming through at this angle, and think about hitting the temple through the cheek. You want to go through your target, all the way through. Or think about hitting the neck right here, that clavicle, that bone. You're going to break it so they can't use their arm. And thinking about following through to the other side, coming out the ribs. But you want this angle. This is number one. From here, easy at first, get a feel for it, and gradually faster and faster, harder and harder. And we're talking about self-defense against violent attack using a cane. Don't practice always, start here, but don't keep your practice at this basic level, this low energy. Start to go as fast as you can, hard as you can strike. Get a feel for what that feels like. Because when you're talking about a violent attack, life or death, you or them, street fight self-defense, you're going to use as much power to try to stop them from coming in and getting, the second, third, fourth strike in. If you can finish it with one strike, that would be great, right? If not, you're going to throw that second strike. Coming from the other side, that opposite angle. If you look at these two, you're making that X. One side of the X and the other side. Add that to that first strike. And again, these are techniques. Techniques of the martial arts side, the fighting side. Self-defense side, the principles. The idea, the first idea was situational awareness. Pay attention to what's happening around you. Number two, take a deep breath, get in a better position, get the weapon between you and the threat. Put the weapon between you and the threat, step back if you can. Now, you might be confined to a chair, or you might happen to be sitting when the attack comes. Think about sitting on a park bench, sitting on the bus, sitting on the train. If you're sitting, all of these techniques work exactly the same way, including the warm-up. That warm-up spin, and from here, you still, because you're sitting there, you have that solid foundation, you still have enough power. And that's the same technique, right? This, when I hit the bag there, just crossing the body a little bit more. That's just 2 basic techniques. So you get into this framework. You think you might be a victim of an attack because things are a little bit crazier right now because of the lockdown. And think about this, what if we do have 30, 40, 50% unemployment in certain areas? 20, 30% is a lot. That's a lot of people who become desperate, right? And not all of them are gonna become criminals. Not all of them are gonna hurt you, but it just takes one desperate person or one group or one percentage of all the people who are becoming desperate to come after you because you have what they need or what they want. And maybe for some people, they're just born like they're just psychopaths anyway, right? So you want to prepare no matter what the scenario is or the situation. But right now, reading the news, thinking about how things might unravel, looking at how few calls that the police department is responding to. They're only going to the shootings and the life or death stuff. But let's say you happen to be trying to get through your essential job because you still have a job, and you happen to be smart enough to prepare, so you're walking with a cane, whether you need it or not, and maybe you do need it. And then all of a sudden, you need to put yourself in that mindset. You start to feel the fear coming, the what ifs, the unknown. That's normal for all of us. That fear, that concern, that's a good thing. You don't try to suppress that. What you do, and this is the martial arts side, the breath, instead of trying to suppress it, you say, okay, let me respond to that. Let me direct that into a different area. Let me take it and deflect it so that it's not taking my breath at night, taking my sleep away, and I get these vivid dreams, right? So then you get into the idea, what could I do in the case of a violent attack? Well, you've got your cane, or you can start walking with a cane. Who cares what people think? Oh, that guy's walking, that girl's walking with a cane, she's weird. Or maybe you need it, okay? And you don't care what they think anyway. So you have your cane, you've prepared, and you put yourself in the mindset. It's a thought process. Number one, as you're leaving the house, the question becomes, what's happening around me? Just pay attention. First, within the first 5 meters or 5 yards, however you want to think about it, you look around and see what's happening around you. Ask me again, Cinch Man. What's happening around you, right? This is important. You get out of your car, you get off the bus, you get off the train, you come out of your door, look at the immediate space right here. And then bring your eyes up and scan the horizon. See what's happening across the street. See what's happening down there, the next bus stop, whatever it is. And then you start to, so that's the first step, situational awareness. Number 2, the threat looks like it might be a threat. It's coming toward you. You're not going to wait till the knife is already inside of you, or his hands are on your neck, or she's already, they're a group of them are holding your clothes, and the other hand pounding you while they're holding you, 5 or 6 or 8 guys. That's happening right now. Before that happens, you get in a better position. Your one hand is up. This means stop. It looks like I'm trying to stop the fight. I'm not trying to provoke anybody. I'm gonna guard my head though, right? Yeah, do it on cement and sharp rocks. Do it wherever you can. And then number 2, my hand is up here. This also is guarding my head. And number 3, I take that breath, that's to center myself, to calm myself, and I ask myself, what are my targets? Now that I'm in this better position, whether I'm standing or sitting, we'll do it again sitting in a moment. I'm standing, what are my targets? I'm standing, you're coming at me, you're one person, right in the head. 1, 2, hard and fast. Those first 2 basic strikes. Now, same questions, but different scenario. That's why techniques have to be secondary, primary. Number 1, always the principles. First principle, what's happening around me? You're on the bus. What are the threats? This possible threat right here. Possible threat right here, right? Better position. Hey guy, back off. Breath, targets. It's different than if I'm standing. Maybe I go down to the leg. Maybe I go leg, jab, right? Take the back of it, rake it across his face. Grab, pull his leg, smash him when he's on the ground. All of that is possible because instead of thinking, what are the proper techniques, you're thinking, what are the targets that I'm going to destroy or remove? Do I remove his eyesight? Do I remove his breath? Do I destroy his eyesight? Do I destroy his throat? Now he's expired, he's dead. Do I destroy his knee cartilage? Do I destroy the bones in his arm that's holding that weapon? Not yet. I'm about to break a sweat. All right. So somehow I got to figure out how to like put the comments up somewhere where I can read them, and I don't have to like come in to read them like that. It's on the phone, so it's kind of small. All right, back to our training. You've got the warm-up spin. This should be about 30 seconds per side. If you do this every day, 30 seconds per side, what's going to start happening is you're going to get a good feel for how this thing, yeah, I'm going to do both staff today too. How it can slide. I also got a new Joe. I'm going to do Joe if I have time, but Bo is next, right after this, I think. But it slides to your hands. And that ability to go from walking with it, putting your weight on it, to this position, where as I lifted it from here, I allowed it to slide down without losing control of it. That comes from the spinning. So don't discount the spin. It looks like fancy person cane, fancy cane twirling. Maybe you're like an English gentleman. By the way, I've never seen the movies, but I've seen the ads for those movies where the guy's fighting with the cane, the English gentleman. It looks pretty cool. If you've seen that, put in the comment section below what the name of that movie. I can't remember. Other people can go and watch it. But you're here. You're doing this just 30 seconds a day. When you start to go across the body, speeding up, forcing you to squeeze your abdominal muscles. Now you're getting a little bit stronger, a little bit stronger. Same thing on the other hand. That's your warm-up. Go into a better position. Think in terms of both techniques and principles. Techniques and principles. First principle, what's happening around me. Number two, get in a better position. Put the weapon between you and the threat. Let's say they have a knife and you don't have anything. You know, maybe you know some crazy jitsu and you can take the knife. Maybe you can, lock it in and you hit them. That'd be awesome if you didn't get it stuck in you 38 times. But now let's say they have a knife and you have this. Don't let them close the distance. Hit them. It's you or them. They've got a knife. You've got a stick. It seems like their knife wins because it's got the sharp part of it, right? But you've got length. You've got bone crushing, skin flaying. You're going to open it, just crush everything in. You've got this hard cane. Use that advantage. Those are the principles. One's not, who knows if he's going to get in. But before he does, man, you better, as much as you can, take some of the energy out of him. Maybe break that arm. Maybe crush it. You're going for, and probably, as soon as you start swinging, whether they have a knife or not, they don't want any, they're going to leave. Most people who do that, they're cowards. They don't want to fight. They're looking for easy targets. As soon as you get in this better position and you get that wicked smile, that's a fear channeled, right? You got the fear. Fear's normal. You're allowed to have it. Just channel it. Turn it into indignation. How dare you? This is my right. I have every right to my freedom of life. I have every right to my freedom of not being taken advantage of, or my dignity taken from me, or my stuff taken from me. Stuff is just, you can get more stuff, right? But what happens if it's the only stuff you have and you need to take that to your family because they need to eat? And it's you or them. Where it's all what ifs. But we focus on the principle, situational awareness, and I know I'm going to say this a million times so it's burned in your brain. 2, better position. Number 3, always a breath. Focus and center. Questions. What are my targets? His eyes. His hand, because he's got something. His knees. Maybe you've been knocked to the ground already, and you're hitting up toward his body, his knees, his private parts, his groin, whatever they want to call it. Maybe the question is, what are my targets? And the answer is that guy's face, that guy's knee, and this guy over here who I see running up out of the corner of my eye. I'm going to turn and I'm going to split him right down the middle. And then you're here, and you're here, and then you're here or here. Because that could be the scenario too. There's more than 1, 3, 4, 5. Remember, some areas of the world, they grab you, but they hold you with one hand, and they beat you with the other hand. 6 or 7, I don't know where that comes from. And then they're hitting on you. Maybe you got to get 7 or 8 of them, right? You jab here, jab there. So we go back to targets. And now we focus again on the techniques. So what techniques? You have those first two angles, two, and I want you to practice this 30 seconds on each side, nice and easy at first. Just like this, getting a good range of motion, nice, tight in front of your body, and then increasing your speed, your power. And do it on the other side. And notice on this side, I let the big knuckle, that's a big knuckle, right? That big knuckle, keep that in front. Start hitting them with that. You're gonna hit even harder because you have more leverage on this side, more weight with that extra amount of wood coming out. And then the next two strikes, bringing it up from the ground. Palm facing the ceiling. If it comes up this way, if you just lift it this way, it peels it out. Turn it under, lift it this way. Turn it under, lift it this way. See what that does? That just pushes it stronger into my hand. 1, 2, 1. And again, easy. And after about 5 or 6 seconds, hard and fast. Hard and fast. Trying to break something. Trying to break his hand, trying to break his legs. And then the other side, bringing it up. Nice and easy at first. Faster and stronger. Now let's go back to how do you get strong enough so that if it is violent attack, you want to self-defense against violent attack using a cane, you have extra explosiveness. All of your strikes are harder and faster week after week because this kind of training. This isometrics is what we're going to do now. We're pushing our hands toward each other. Just do this. If you don't have a cane with you right now, just do this. Press. And you're going to feel all the muscles inside, especially your pectoral muscles, your chest. You're going to feel it in your shoulders. Feel it in your arms, right? And just hold and press, 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 press. Then, as you're pressing, push to one side. Push back to the other side. As you're pressing, now you're starting to add this dynamic movement. Yes, Sinja man. 1, 2. See how this is making me shake? It's because I'm pressing as hard as I can. I want you to press as hard as you can and think about sweeping your hands across your body. With the cane, it's the same thing. Trying to push them together and sweep and sweep. And not fast, but not ever taking the pressure off. Neither hand. When you're here, it's not relaxed. When you're here, it's not relaxed. 30 seconds. Catch your breath. 2 or 3 deep breaths, and then go again. At least 2 sets of each. 30 seconds, not number of reps. I want you to go 30 seconds because I want you to be able to last through the fight for as fast or as long as you can. And now that's talking about time, not just reps, right? I don't know if I'm gonna have to hit him 6 times, 20 times, 620 times. I wanna still have energy, dynamic power to the last second. Fight's not over till you win. That's number 5, by the way. Number 1, situational awareness. Number 2, better position. Get the weapon between you and him, you and the threat, you and the threats. Number 3, breath. Focus, calm. What are your targets? Number 4, this is my favorite. Commitment. Intention. What's your intention when you hit? Is it to do a nice, proper technique? Or is it to just destroy every single thing that's in your way? It's hard and it's fast. Immediate, direct, explosive, right? It's all about that intention and that commitment. Welcome back. It's that intention. Number 4 is about that committing. Commit with every strike. All in, all in, all in, all in. Everything you've got into every strike, trying to end the fight with every single strike. And number 5, fight's not over till you win. So you don't quit, you don't give up. Keep taking a step, keep swinging, keep swinging, keep swinging. Let the policeman pull you off of them and say, we got it. Good job, hero. You were your own first responder. You were your own bodyguard. They saw you as a weakling because of your cane. That's why 3 of them jumped you at once. That's why all 5 of them came out of the woods to try to take your food so you couldn't feed your kids. But we got them, right? That's how I think. That's how I want you to train. Self-defense, not martial arts. Martial arts techniques, but self-defense principles. Back attack, he's got your throat. That's one of my favorites. You've got a hook. Put this hook in that hand. If you can't breathe, turn your head. If I press right here, you can hear it changes my voice, right? Let's say that someone's arm choking me to death. As soon as I turn my head to the side, you can hear my voice goes back to normal. That's because here, I'm facing this way, and you're restricting my breath. You're getting ready to crush my larynx. Here, it opens up just by turning your head. Most people don't know that, right? If you can take your other hand, you remember you're like this. If you can get your hand in there, create a little distance on his arm, put that hook in there. Take that hand on the top of the hook. And then, I don't almost rip my shirt. Push straight down. You're very strong in this motion. When you go from here to here, it's the same thing as standing up out of a chair using your cane. You're very strong when your arms are close to your body, your hands are close to your body, and you push down. If you're out here, you're not as strong. But you said he's behind you. He's got you right here, like that. That opens him up enough, right? You keep pushing, take that step. That creates distance. His body opens. And I would love to have somebody else to help me show you. I don't have that. But from here, at some point, their arm is going to break loose. You turn, and as you turn, your elbow comes above your throat. This is the key. If your elbow stays low when you turn, their hands on your neck, you're going to wring your own neck. If your hand comes above that, it's like leverage. It's just going to peel them off no matter how they're holding you. And then look, you've got two ways to hit them. Hit them with both. Hit them this way as you come around, hit them this way. 1, 2. I'm here, I'm down, turn and step and strike. And then it's on, right? That's your full commitment. What are your targets? Full commitment on your strike. Fight's not over till you win. Keep going, keep fighting, and then it's over. If you're here and they come running up behind you, you have time to turn and get your hands up. That's great. See them, targets, and you hit. If you're just kind of blindsided, maybe they grab you from behind here. That's that strong wrist you're gonna have from all of this exercising, right? That just comes straight back, bam. Straight back. It's very powerful, right? They're right behind you. It's very powerful that way. It's very powerful that way. You have a lot of options, but what's the proper technique? There's no proper technique. There's only principles. You've got a million techniques. You can invent your own technique. You can come up with your entire own martial arts style. If the target's there, and you do something that makes sense, and it works, that's what's right. You always have to remember that. Whatever works is what's right. All right, so we have this isometric pushing side to side. I also want you to go up and down. Up. The whole time you're pushing, you're trying to get your hands together. They won't because you're holding your cane. Up, down. Any punch coming to your face, any attack coming to your throat or your neck, you're going to push up. That hand comes in here, that lifts it. That exposes all these organs, all these soft spots, all the vital spots, all your targets. From here, they go in, stab you with that knife, punch you in the stomach, grab you in an appropriate way, smash them, right? Straight down that way. So this is 30 seconds. Up and back, up and back. Now going back to strikes. We had 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I went straight through and back. 1, 2. This horizontal. When you come across the body, the palm is up. When you come back to the same side of the body, so right hand, right side. When it comes to the left, palm is up, palm down. That's it. Just striking. Hit him in the face, hit him in the body, hit him in the legs. It's just a basic and really hard, powerful strikes. These will break bones. And even if you don't break bones, you're going to hit them enough times that it's going to just smash them. All right, it's late. I'll be up, I'm gonna be done with this in less than a minute, and then we'll grab the bow. All right, so we have here, both sides, put them together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same thing on the other side, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 30 seconds each side. And the final exercise, I want you to try turning it. 2 reasons. One, when you turn it, that's gonna put this hand here, and then you can smash them that way or smash them that way. So if someone grabs your cane, twist and push down. Twist and push down. The other way is, I want you to learn how to block your head. Your hand will be above your head. The other hand is below your chin. So this, say the punch is flying in or the weapon, you're gonna block it this way. And I don't picture you fighting in the street doing this so much. You might, it just might come out of nowhere. And all of a sudden, you're like this, and then boom, and then that happens, right? Because it's a technique, but you're fighting with principles. But from here, it's also gonna start to strengthen your ribs, your intercostals, your stomach, your abs, your chest, your shoulders, your upper back, by pushing. And again, it's that isometric. You're trying to push your hands together and then across the body. Keep that pressure pushing together as you turn. As you turn. Do this and you'll see what I mean. And again, if you don't have the cane yet or a stick, just do your hands. You have the sweeping and you have up and down, up and down, up and down. And then from here, pushing, 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 pushing. And I know you're feeling it in there. And it's both the chest activation and the upper back activation, the muscles that you need to be explosive. If you have to defend yourself from a violent attack using your cane. Let me know in the comment section what else you want to work on. I'm gonna grab the bow. I'll be back in about 10 minutes, maybe 4. You need to get something to drink, wipe off the sweat, right? Decide which bow I'm gonna use. Metal, wood, plastic. I don't like plastic, but I like how thick it is. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Check if you need a cane and you can have it shipped to you. They're very inexpensive, 15 bucks, 20 bucks at the most. Check the link below, or you can find it at a healthcare store. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.